Excuse me, did you leave an AR-15 laying in a backpack, laying against a church wall last week? We found your AR-15. Do you want it back? Seriously, this happened. This isn't the actual one, but we're going to talk about what happened, why this guy brought it. And I'm definitely not bashing anybody. I encourage rifles in church. Just do it the right way, and leaving it in a backpack against a wall for 5 minutes while you go walk around and do your stuff tells me that you need some hints on what you're actually supposed to do with that thing. So we're going to talk about all of that. But the most important thing is, if you love Jesus Christ and you love guns, you're in the right place. Hit that subscribe button, leave a comment. The algorithm likes it. We're trying to spread the word about our mission here at Christian Warrior. Our mission here at Christian Warrior is to keep churches safe, how to develop safety teams, and how to make our churches just better all around. An attack is coming, so we want to make sure that you're prepared. All right, let's go ahead and get into this. All right, so a local church noticed a backpack at closing laying against a wall. So like good people should, they went over to the backpack and looked inside, and lo and behold, there's a collapsed up AR-15. Actually, it was more like this, collapsed up, silencer off, in a backpack. I applaud what you want to do, AR-15 man, but there are some things that you need to do and be aware before you do this. And I just want to talk about them because a lot of bad things could have happened, including somebody else getting that AR and then hurting people in the church. So number one, why would somebody want to bring an AR-15 to church? Well, because I've let you know that we're a condition orange and high risk of attack, and I've been telling you that something's going to happen, and people hear that. And to be honest, your pistol is only good for fighting your way to your rifle. And this is a rifle. It is a short-barreled rifle, chambered in .300 blackout. We're going to talk about some of these different things. And so I get it. But what I've been telling you guys is that the rifle should belong to the safety team and locked up in a safe in the security room, and you get it when you need it. Why? To be honest, like only trained people should be doing this, because you're shooting a rifle in a crowded environment. And we're going to talk about some of the things that you need to think about. Number one is training. You're going to be in a crowded environment in a church filled with people. People jumping up. When the shooting goes off, they're going to be jumping up, running in front of you. So you got people basically getting in the way, and you've got to shoot accurately in this environment. For me personally, I mean, I've gone through, and I just want to put things in perspective. I've gone through hundreds, if not 1,000 or more hours just in shooting a rifle in a crowded environment, including hostage rescue and other things, and including another 1,000 hours of training other people. And when I left SWAT, my skills degraded because I'm not using it anymore. And that's after all of that training plus teaching other people, to the point I realized that my skills were degraded. So I actually go out every month now and practice close quarter battle with a rifle, and also with my primary pistol, knowing that my skills have degraded and I've got to keep them up. If you've left your rifle in a backpack laying against a wall while you went away and did a chore for 5 minutes, that tells me that you probably don't have the proper training to do this, because one of the things you learn is you never leave your rifle laying around. It's rifle 101. The other issue is ammo selection. So this is my truck gun, and what I carry is Spear Gold Dot. I carry Spear Gold Dot because I don't have to worry about over penetration, and I don't have to worry really too much about the ammo that I'm carrying. It's made for an incident like hostage rescue or something like that. It has had great results. It is proven. Conversely, what I'm worried about, I didn't get a chance to look at the ammo in the backpack or in the rifle. But a lot of people carry green tip because it's readily available and it's cheap. But if you shot green tip, which has a kind of a steel penetrator in it, basically it's not armor piercing, but it's like a poor man's armor piercing. It could cause a lot of problems. This isn't made for hostage rescue, this is made for the battlefield, and really not, this is like practice ammo for you. This is not real stuff. So what ammo selection did this guy have? Next up is identification, friend or foe. How do I know? Let me give an example. If there's an active shooter and I come up and I start engaging the threat, what do I look like? to you. I mean, I look like a normal dude. You might recognize me from the church, but that doesn't preclude me from being an active shooter. You've got this whole identification friend or foe thing. And then the security team, they don't know you. And so they see you with they hear rounds popping off and they come around the corner and they see you with a rifle. You're going to get engaged. If the cops show up, same thing, you're going to get engaged. There's a lot of issues with being identified. You're becoming a target for you. Versus you have an active shooter, you have your pistol, and you take care of the active shooter. You take them out, and then you realize people are coming, and then you put your pistol away. Which I know there's reasons to do that and not do that, and covering the suspect at gunpoint and holding him at gunpoint. But if you're about to get shot, you know, certainly these are things to think about. So we have the whole identification thing. What I'd like to see you do if you're a concealed carrier is when you see security at the church, just introduce yourself and tell them you're concealed carrying. This particular church encourages concealed carry. They don't want people bringing a rifle into the church for obvious reasons, but they totally encourage concealed carry. And in this church, I've been there, I want to say at least 30% of the people in the church or more are concealed carrying at any given time. When the shooting pops off, you really need to make sure you all know each other so that you don't have a friendly fire incident. The other thing is, this church has a safety team. If you're so worried that you're bringing an AR-15 in, then you should probably join the safety team and help secure your church. Just my 2 cents. Now, I know I'm going to take a bashing in the comments about anybody should be able to carry whatever they want, wherever they want. I agree, but you have a backpack left unattended with an AR-15 in it, left against a wall in a crowded church. You have a responsibility. And that responsibility includes being able to identify yourself as a good guy during an active shooter, making sure you know the safety team and they know you, having the right ammo selection in your weapon, making sure your weapon is set up for a hostage rescue, meaning a quality sight with a quality backup sight, a flashlight that you're able to identify threats as they come along, and basically a rifle set up for a shooting within a church. There's a lot to think about, and you also have to have a lot of training. We are going to do a rifle course at some point. I don't know when that's going to be because it takes a lot to put it on and get it going, but we're going to do a rifle course for churches. It is going to be 16 to 24 hours of training, and you're going to have prerequisites to even get in the class. So you have to pass a proficiency test to get into the class because it's an advanced class. It's not a basic, this is how you shoot a rifle. You have to have those skills ahead of time. And then that sets it up to where you can now store a rifle at a church if you want to. My recommendation to you, do what I do. I take a rifle everywhere I go. In fact, this is the one that I take with me when I'm traveling around Idaho. This is the one that I take with me when I go out of state, and we'll talk about that. But I put it into a backpack that fits perfectly, that blends into the environment, so I just look completely normal. I leave it in my truck at church. If I need to go get it because there's an active shooter, I can fight my way to it, which the best medicine is to win the gunfight. So I'm actually going to shoot the bad guy. And if it's something prolonged that I can't finish with my pistol, I'll go get my rifle. And we train for that on the safety team, right? But I leave it in my truck. That's where it belongs. And it's secured in my truck in a lockbox that if you're trying to break into it, it'll take you an hour or more, and the safety team hopefully will deal with that. But I have my rifle set up for hostage rescue. I've got my silencer. I've got my secondary aiming device, which I also use an IR laser. I've got a quality optic set up for this. This is essentially pretty much what I carried on SWAT for the most part at the end of my career. And most importantly, I train. I train all the time. Constantly I train, and I don't stop training. That's my advice to you. Don't put your rifle in a backpack and then leave it laying against a wall. And don't pick some like radical firearms PSA. You're talking about doing a hostage rescue because an active shooter is a hostage rescue. I don't want to have a PSA or a radical firearms or some other, stag arms or something like that. Those are range guns. That is not something I'm taking to a hostage rescue. Just my 2 cents, people. Again, I know the comments are going to be spicy. I can't wait to see your comments down at the bottom. If you want weekly church news about crimes that occur in churches each week, if you want tips to be a better concealed carrier, to be a better safety team member, to keep your church safe, head on over to christianwarriortraining.com. I also have free training that you can take. It's my gift to you as a follower of Christ. That's it for now. Remember your ABCs. Always be carrying, not in a backpack laying against a wall.